Hi everybody, welcome back. My name is Amanda and today we're going to talk a little bit about having a baby. And so I want to talk about some different things that happen through this process, especially when we're talking about being at the hospital and you're actually having the baby. Okay, so the first thing that I want to mention to you is that there is a possibility that your birth plan might change. A lot of times prior to having the baby, you'll know whether you're going to give a natural birth or whether you're going to have a C-section. You'll know whether or not you want to have an epidural, things like that. Those are important decisions that you will make, but keep in mind that those choices can always change. Once you get to the hospital and you are under the care of the medical staff, their purpose is to help mom and help baby. So if there's any indication that the baby is under stress or that mother is under stress, those plans may change. You may have decided that you wanted to do a natural birth with no epidural, but when you're 12 to 14 hours in on that labor, that might change, and that's okay. The medical staff is there to support you. They understand how emotional this can be, and it really is. It's hard. As a mother, as the one who's having the baby, I'm very much a planner, so I want to have everything kind of set out. This is what we're doing. And when those plans change, insanity happens. The second thing I want to talk about is that once you've actually delivered the baby, the nursing staff, the medical staff are excellent. They're very hands-on, they're very helpful. Just the most beautiful people are the ones that really are there with you after you've had your child, because it's a experience, man. It's scary, it's emotional, it's a roller coaster. So at first, they're very, very hands-on. They help you, they help take the baby to the nursery for a couple hours so that you can sleep. And I really would advise, although within the first day or two, it feels so weird to be like, yes, take the baby to the nursery so that I can sleep, because your instinct is to have that baby with you. You want the baby in the room. You want to be with it all the time. And that is normal, but it is nothing to be ashamed of to allow yourself to rest. You have to allow yourself to rest. And so if you want to take advantage of that, let them take the baby to the nursery for a couple hours. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with wanting to have the baby in the room with you. It's up to you to kind of feel out what you want to do. It's your life, it's your decision. And that's the wonderful thing about it, is that you get to choose what you want to do. Okay, the third thing I want to talk about is trauma. Now, I am not going to lie to you. Having a baby, it's traumatic. It's fast, it's quick, and it's scary. It's 20 people touching you and working on you, and you're just like, it's the most attention that you will ever get as a woman, but it's scary, and but it's okay. You get past it, and in the end, you get a baby out of it. So there's crazy construction going on right over there. We're gonna wait till they pass. Okay, the fourth thing that I want to talk about is I had two children. One was born, we were able to leave the hospital with her. The second child that I had was born pretty early. She was born 6 weeks early, and she ended up having to go to NICU. That was the weirdest 2 weeks of my life, because I was in the hospital for about 4 days with her, and then they told me that I had to leave and that she had to stay in the NICU. And I can't even explain to you how strange it was to have to leave her at the hospital and come home. There was this feeling, I tried to explain to my husband, where it felt like I was still pregnant. I knew that I had delivered her. I knew that she was in the hospital, but it just did not feel natural or normal to leave her. So I would come home at night. I'd be at the hospital all day long. My mom thankfully was there. She was watching my older daughter during this period of time. And so I would go take my daughter to my mom's house and I'd go to the hospital, and I'd be up there from 7 a.m. until 10 p.m. I was there all day. I don't know how my husband even made it, because I was gone the whole time. And then we actually were able to bring her home right before Christmas. So we got her home on, I think, the 23rd of December. And I've always said, and I will always say, that bringing her home was the best Christmas gift I ever got, because I just wanted her home for Christmas. I had such a longing in my heart to have our family together. So that was a very weird time. But it's okay. You know, we live through it. We grow from it. She's happy. She's healthy. She's home now. So it's okay. It will be okay. Okay, and the final thing that I want to mention to you about having a baby, giving birth, all that, is that it's scary. The fear that you have is normal. There's nothing wrong with being afraid. It is normal. It's very scary to have a baby. You start out and you're so excited because you're pregnant, and then as you grow through the pregnancy, you start feeling movement, and you start really being able to tell, like, oh my gosh, this is the baby's butt, this is the head, you know. But then towards the end of the pregnancy, when you're 8-9 months along and you're starting to feel like you've got a spare tire on the front of you, and that you're like 99% baby, then it starts to kind of hit you that this is going to have to come out of me. And the idea of that is scary. Any way you go, C-section or natural, it's scary because it has to come out of you somehow. And that is really, that's big. But I will tell you, I had C-sections on both my children, and they were both planned C-sections. So I was lucky enough to not have a change in birth plan right at the last moment. A friend of mine had have emergency C-section on her child, and she had never had surgery before, and so it was a huge fear for her. And it is. I mean, it is very scary if you've never had a surgery and then being told amongst all this chaos that now you're going to have surgery. We're going to go ahead and take the baby out. It's very scary. But I will say that the medical staff, at least my experience with the medical staff, was excellent. I was in minimal discomfort, very minimal discomfort the whole time. Another thing I wanted to mention is how strange it is to be to have the medical staff be so hands-on, be so helpful, and then after 3 or 4 days, they're just like, okay, go home, you're free to go. And then there was a moment with our first child, especially, where me and my husband were like, what do? We just go home? Like, it just didn't seem, I don't know, it was just so weird to just go home with the baby. It was amazing. But there is just a weird feeling to it. So if you are out there and watching this video, if you're expecting or have recently had a child, I want to congratulate you. This is just an amazing journey. Until next time, bye-bye.